Okay, guys, here's the deal. We went to the dog washers camp, and it was zero cell phone signal whatsoever at the dog washers camp. So I'm going to start playing the videos for you now that we took. They won't be live, but I will be reading the comments. If you have any questions, I will have the ability to speak over. If you want to say anything about the videos, but I'm going to start them now. All right. Here we go.
Fortunately, I'm in the back of my sled, but we're going to get the view of the sled behind us.
I need to stand here then.
Well,
I just don't want to block the shot.
our dogs are here.
All right, let's go.
This is very tricky.
Mika, are you yelling at Tesla? G. You guys guess what G means? Anybody? What way did we just go?
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Occasionally they look back like, are you still back there?
So, if you're here before, my name's Doug. I'm from Michigan, as are a lot of these dogs. There we go. You got it, Mika. Come on. There we go. All right, up. So I've been around dogs about 9 years.
And what's the typical age?
No such thing as typical. Anywhere from 1 to 9. Gee. Siberian Husky doesn't love that kind of speed. I'm not Jingle. Jingle sees something in the woods. See the leader on the left? Jeep. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, been doing tours like this for 3, running dogs for 9. Run dogs in Michigan, because that's where I'm from. So we have one Siberian Husky here, that's Mika, right behind the leaders on the left. Got a big bushy tail. She's 9 years old, the oldest one on the team. After her, the next oldest one is Frosty, who's 6 years old. Hold on a second, I gotta let him. Whoop. Stop here for a second. Wherever Garrick might be.
Good pup.
I'm trying to mix it up a little bit
Good
more.
puppies.
They never know what we're doing these days. Oh, hold on. We're gonna get moving in just a quick second here. I'm just waiting on Garrick. I want to give his team something to chase. See if they can hear him.
Corny, it's bumpy.
Oh, this one's gonna get real bad right here too.
Yeah, so I'm not giving you your phone, okay?
I'll do 2 blocks of pictures on that.
Okay. Hey Garrick, think you can catch us? Think you can catch us? All right, let's go. Sometimes I make car noises and that's fun. You got it, Tesla. Come on. There we go. Good shots.
Is there a harder place to run for the dogs? Like
Not really. I mean, however hard it is to pull is literally how hard they're pulling. If that makes sense.
yeah.
It's not like anything's pulling them along. They're the one applying the force. So they apply no force like that Siberian Husky in the front. They're not pulling. But they're pulling as hard as they possibly can. Gee, just like Portage here, the first one on the left.
Yeah.
And they're pulling as hard as they can. So. I think we're going to switch my lineup there a little bit. Zika's having a little bit too hard of a time here.
Comes Mika?
My Siberian up front. I gotta put her back in the team a little bit.
Oh, the one on the right?
Figure eight, just happened just to meet up. She. No, the Siberian Husky. She's up here, right behind the leaders on the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second one from the left.
Nice. Gypsy. So the youngest one on the team, her name is Gypsy. She's second up on the right, the little brown one right there. She's only 13 months old. She was actually born here at camp last year. I'm not helping. Come on, you can do it. I'm helping, but don't tell them. All right.
As we're like, but there's a smell.
Oh,
Gotta
yeah, I don't
can it.
mind if they go around there a little bit, as long as they don't turn the team around on itself.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be here for a few minutes, letting them cool down. This is very hot. These are sled dogs. Anything above 0 degrees, they're warm. They will overheat. They generally the best temperature to run them is about -10 or so.
Oh, wow.
That's their t-shirt weather. So yeah, we'll just let them cool down. Like look at Gypsy here. Gyp, gyp. Hey honey, see her tongue panting right there? She's a pretty hot puppy. Not because she's cute. Although she's scared. She hates it when I bug her at work. Come here. Get up here. Get up here, honey. Huggers will get up here, right? Huggers. Come here. Oh.
Huggers.
Oh my gosh, we're all cute. Oh my gosh.
Here, Audrey.
Well, you know who really likes love? This one does. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we can tell. Audrey, do you want this one?
Oh, you sweet. Just got Honda this summer, so she's very new to me. But we bonded quite well in the last couple months. Natalie, yes. Oh, yes.
What's her name?
Honda, she's 2 years old. She's a cute little thing. She's got a sister named Kia. She's the one laying down in the tree roots there. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. No, Honda's such a sweet, affectionate little thing. Loves affection. I don't think anybody really loved her like this beforehand.
Aww.
I'm a very feely guy. Like, I'm very affectionate with my dogs. I give them kisses. I wrestle with them. I engage with them a lot. Other mushers don't really do that. They consider them like a working animal. They don't need any of that stuff. They just need to work. And if you coddle them too much, you know, you're going to spoil them. But whatever. My dogs run fine for me, so I'll do my thing. So, and a lot of the dogs do very well with that. So.
And other than the Siberian Huskies, any other particular breed?
So, the rest of these dogs, all 15 of them, are one particular breed called an Alaskan Husky. Oh. Open breed though, which is why you're seeing so much variation, all different sizes, shapes, colors. Every kennel does their own breeding in this world, hobby, sport, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. There are no breeders, no central authority to tell you what your Alaskan Husky can or can't look like, can or can't do. And so you generally breed based on what type of racing you do, and also just whatever your preference is, and I guess also what you have to breed with, whether you outbreed to another kennel or you breed with what you have in stock, if you will. And so I don't do any breeding myself personally because I'm recreational. I'm not very competitive. I just like to run dogs. That's the whole reason I got into this. I didn't get into this to do races or win races, although races are fun. I got into this just because I like running the dogs. I mean, I've got a Siberian Husky in my team, for God's sakes. If I wanted to win a race, I mean, she'd be the first thing gone. Because
What?
they're
They're not.
Oh no, they're not sled dogs. Everybody thinks they are, especially people who watch a lot of Disney movies, but
Yeah.
they're not. So, no, Siberian Huskies are show dogs and pets. They used to be sled dogs back in like the 1950s and before that, but ever since they became an actual pure breed, no.
Which ones are the best sled dogs?
Well, as I said, Alaskan Huskies. Yeah. So these are the real thing. And so the reason I have so much variety on my team is because almost all my dogs are either cast-offs from competitive kennels, dogs who aren't either making the grade performance-wise, or the mushers just don't like them personality-wise. That happens a lot more often than you might think. Or people who had to get out of dogs, like Frost and Jingles. Jingles is the leader on the right. Frosty, Frost. Frosty is the big orange one who just looked back at us in the middle. And so those two, the musher who owned them, was trying to do some stuff in our... Sorry, I didn't have that feel. He was trying to get a trap hunting team set up for the interior of Alaska for next winter, but he ended up he lost his job or something, so he had to get rid of his dogs. So I took those two for him because I was already working at the place that was boarding those two dogs this winter, and I was already running them in a team just to keep them busy and healthy and active. And so I just said, I'll keep them. That's
And
fine.
are you the only one that runs this set of dogs?
Yeah, because I own them. They're my dogs.
Oh.
That's why I've been running dogs
okay.
9 years.
Oh,
That's the whole
okay.
thing I've been talking about here. So.
Oh, okay. And male versus female?
A lot more girls in my team than males. A lot of my friends who are mushers like the big, strong males, so I tend to get the small females because they don't want them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 females, 4 males. So, well, we are out here. And who's together here, by the way? So, you 4? Okay. And then you 2?
Yep.
So, can I get a camera? Oh. Take some pictures for you guys?
Yeah, here.
Use mine or mine's camera's crappy. But...
No, here, use this.
How long's the trail?
Huh? Oh, we're about a mile and a half. We do a couple, it's a bunch of loops, so we go around it different ways. We got to keep the dogs a little bit different. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, eventually they're just going to crawl around and be very bored.
Or just have them pointed at us for a while.
Like the
But the picture would be better.
Oh, yeah. So, let's get you guys from the front here.
The
So,
stream
can you
later.
lean out just a little bit that way? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, New York City, huh?
Yeah.
I've never been. I've been in New York a couple times, especially the Niagara Falls part. Because being from Michigan, it's easy to go through Ontario to get there.
Yeah.
But I've never actually been to the city. Portage. Usually it's Goofy.
So where in New York do you live?
Portage. He's also very
in the
sweet,
city,
very affectionate.
downtown.
He's 3 years
Okay,
old.
so-
He's blind, so we have to run in the
Because I
back.
lived in
You don't run
Brooklyn
the
for a while and
back,
also
he's gonna
Queens.
trip over
So
and
I
run.
lived down in Bay Ridge and then I was up in
You don't want
Astoria.
that 'cause he's
Yeah,
so-
yeah, we're way downtown, like near the World Trade.
Okay, so down near Financial District then.
Yeah.
All right.
Mom, bet the dog at the back is blind.
The one in the
really?
back left.
Very back to
The one that's pulling the hardest?
No, the one, this one right here.
Oh, I thought he was pulling the hardest.
Wave.
I'm not sure he's taking a picture of us.
the we're in the background.
Oh, are we? Right? Now we're not in that picture.
Okay, that's going to be just a cute dog.
That one that just barked looks like a lab.
But you know we're taking a bunch of those, right?
It's sprint racing.
I'm sorry?
He's in sprint racing.
Oh.
So like what we do in the Lower Peninsula of
Thank you.
Michigan is sprint racing. That's what types of dogs we use are those little things. May I?
So, it's on a video feed right now, but
Hi.
Maybe if you could put it on us for a while.
You don't want to take any pictures? Or?
well, the video is good. We were supposed to be live streaming, but there's no service.
Good
so
luck.
We're just
Well, do you have Verizon or AT&T?
gonna, T-Mobile.
Oh, see, that's the problem. If you had Verizon, you'd actually have service here.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I have AT&T, so I don't have anything either. So you're getting
We'll put it
all
on
of
the
that.
stream later. So.
All right, well, let's pan it around the dogs here. Hi, guys. Portage and Honda. Huggers and Gypsy. Huggers. There we go. Over here, Jiggles, goes. Well, guys, I think it's about that time.
There's dogs behind us. Dogs in front. They're all barking.
Alright, let's get moving now. You guys all ready? Alright, let's go! Alright! Sorry, it's impossible not to make car noises.
No, it's fine.
Honda, she loves picking on Portage. See what she's doing there?
I like the name.
Jeep. Alright, get it.
How heavy
One of our lighter ones, only about 600-700 pounds. So with a full load, we're doing just maybe right around 2,000 pounds. So, but you guys are actually the rather exceptionally lighter load compared to what we normally get. You guys ever hear of a state called Texas? You get a full load of people on there, you're just like, that's why I get paid to do this. I'm not straight it. Straight it. Hi, Jingles. I'm back, guys. Jingles. G.
Is he not supposed to be gnawing on the rope?
No. Jingles is the leader on the left. She wanted to go that way.
Alright.
Trying to take a shortcut there, but it doesn't really exist. Alright, bring it in, Ghost. Bring it in, Jingles.
Is there what that you? So there are the 2 leaders. Is one more alpha than the other, or?
Oh yeah. Well, not alpha. You don't want alpha dogs up there. That would be a disaster. Alpha dogs are A, horrible sled dogs, and B, would make the worst leaders possible, because what is an alpha dog trying to do the whole time? What makes it an alpha?
Who wants to win?
Trying to
the
take
boss.
the lead. Yeah.
That's the boss.
So it's a dominant dog. What makes a dog dominant is they're worried about all the other dogs.
Not
So-
a good team player.
No, they want to turn around and get into fights and breed other dogs. You need relaxed dogs up there. So, sorry, I gotta do my work here too, and I'm out of shape. Go ahead and step off on the left-hand side. We're gonna meet the dogs now.
Alright, passing this off to you so that
Yep.
I can take photos.
Alright, do you see any trash cans?
Huh?
Do you see any trash cans? Because,
Yeah. Oh, that might good have some.
Courtney, can you put this in your bag, please?
Hi. Hi. Look at me. Oh, you look exhausted. Look here. Hello. Hi. Hello, puppy. Puppy.
So,
Do I touch that?
before we get too crazy, 3 shy dogs. Kia right here, and then Mercedes and Feisty right here. So give these 3 some room.
Hello.
Everybody else is good though. You guys can pet them. They're all either very friendly or they don't care.
These 4 in the back.
Yeah, they're fine. Honda might be a little shy with you because you're a very large, tall gentleman. Honda,
Hello. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello.
Oh, you don't have to. You guys can just pet them. They don't care. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful drool.
Look at
See
this
it?
drool. Hello. Look here. Look here. Puppy. Puppy.
You wanna go for a car ride? Want treats?
Oh, he's so cute.
You want treats? Here, hold on. You're the prettiest one on the team. You know, although Jingles is quite pretty too.
Puppies.
Jingles is like an orange Siberian with floppy ears.
What's this dog's name?
Ghost.
Aw. Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
No, that's actually Ghost, Batman, and Witchy. They're Halloween costumes.
Okay.
That's the theme for their litter.
You need a white one named Ghost anyways, right?
Yeah, he was the whitest one of the litter, so I think that's why he got named that. When he was a puppy, he might have even been white, but I wouldn't know. Oh, you, as I said, you don't have to do that. You can just pet him. Oh, look at that slobber. Oh, look at that glob that came out. I wouldn't pet her snout right now. Oh, that's gross. Hey, God. You're so gross.
Hello. Are you on the shy ones? I don't remember.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. They're all so cute. Look at this one.
Remember, that's the one.
This is shy ones. The one too.
Yukon, come here.
Hello. Hi.
Come on.
Hi.
You can say hi to Yukon. He's very friendly. He's dumb as a box of rocks and almost as dense. But so friendly.
Oh, hello.
So happy.
Hi. Oh, you're a happy puppy. Yes, you are. Oh, should have been named Mr. Peanut Butter. Should have been named Mr. Peanut Butter. Dumb as a box of rocks. But so happy. But so happy.
Oh yeah, he's a happy boy. It doesn't take much for him. Basically, he's either running or actually, I've never seen him really unhappy. I can't think of anything that would make him unhappy.
Hi, look here. Look here.
His name's Yukon.
Yukon. Yukon. Yukon. Look here.
Yukon, look over here, buddy.
Yukon.
Yukon. You can. Come on.
Oh,
Ready?
that's a good shot. Ah, you such a cute puppy. Oh. I should get lots of video of me playing with puppies. Playing with puppies. Hello. Hello. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. Aww. Alright, give some other puppy some love. Hello. You want smash? I want. I don't remember. Hello. Hi. Hi. Need some love? Need some attention? You sweet thing.
It's below 0.
You take your dogs over to
You
Michigan?
sweet thing.
Yeah, I will be this week.
You're so dirty. You're so dirty. My
You
hands
can
gonna
see
need
one over
washed
there,
so
but
much
there's a dog
after
right there.
this.
Very? It's only a 4-6 hour drive for Berry right up to Skagway Hands. So, yep. Yeah, it's about 3,500 miles.
Are we building that road?
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Yes. Wow. It's a long drive.
How long does it take you? 2 weeks?
No, about 7 to 9 days. So,
Oh wow.
yep.
And what do you pull over every?
No peripheral vision. It really depends on what I'm doing for the schedule. Like on a trip that long, you pretty much have to feed and water the dogs. And that
Oh,
means
yeah.
you have
Thank
to
you.
let them go to the bathroom after you do that too. You know what I'm saying?
So 6-hour stretches type of thing.
Actually, that's pretty much about it. Yeah. Except when you're tired, you have to rest because it's just me. No one's driving with me. There's no shift driving. So when you're tired, you can't just blast through that. You have to rest. So.
So 6-8 hours a day.
I mean, no, I'll be driving pretty much before sunup to after sundown. So it's just bring a few
every
audiobooks. New audiobooks.
So which are the other ones
Which ones?
to check out?
Oh, any of them. I'm just the 3 are kind of they're not off limits per se, but they are. They won't bite you or anything if you pet them, but they just don't like strangers. So. You got Burial unloading right there. Burial, you look. Stop moving up. You can pet me. And then we got Mika, the blue-eyed one right here. She's the Siberian Husky. One of those
I don't think you like humans.
They are dirty, so.
Oh yeah, no, they're so dirty.
Generally, you keep them in cats. You also use
I finally managed to get rid of those cups.
Okay, good.
how to not have accidental breedings.
Oh, look at these puppies. This is the happy one. He's so happy. Look at this boy. Look at this happy boy. Hi. Hi. Look at him.
Pretty much every day. Probably more like 4 to 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week. So. And we usually run morning teams and afternoon teams. That way, you know,
Aw.
they don't get too hot. They don't get too overworked. We like to manage that stuff.
Puppies.
Slow it in.
Hello. Look right at the camera. Hi. Hi. How's it going? How's it going? Who's a good boy? How's it going? You a good boy? Oh, yeah. You're such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yeah, you
So there
are.
might as well be a chihuahua.
Such a sweet boy.
No, she has more coat.
Oh, sweet doggy. Sweet doggy. Oh, make me miss my puppy. Oh, look at how happy and content this puppy looks. Someone loves attention. Someone loves attention. Quality dog scratching scream. Like, why do you stop? Why would you stop? Come back here. I'm not done.
And these two are related?
I don't. No, I really didn't. I didn't. Oh, that explains why.
Look at those two. Ah, sweet boy.
Yeah, I like those two cuddling. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna steal you from Doug here.
Swap out.
Okay, so we have to say goodbye to the doggies. Bye bye puppies. Bye bye puppies. Bye bye puppies. We'll be back with actual puppies later, but I'm supposed to go do something else now.
Gracias, I'm following this.
Good boy. So right now, I am at the Alaskan Brewery. You can see that. So over there, behind me, they are brewing Alaskan brewery beers. So, oh, there's sound. There we go. We have sound. Do we have sound? Good sound. So, okay. All right. So now I am at the Alaskan Brewery. So we are at the tour / tasting room. They're going to give us a tour of this place. So hopefully everything works well with the, what? No, it should be working. The stream says it's still working. Sorry, dogs are gone. Dogs were over. Now it's beer. It is beer now.
Hey, how's it going?
Dogs and beer. Hi.
Is it just you two today?
Yeah, do you mind me filming?
What's that?
Do you mind me filming?
I do get stage fright, so it may not be very good if you are filming me, just so you know. But you totally have the option to.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that honestly.
I only have 2 watchers. It's fine.
Oh, there's people watching.
It's a live stream.
I'm gonna pee my pants, you guys. Oh my god. No one's ever done that for me before. That's a little scary. I can work with it, I guess. Where are you guys from?
Seattle.
Okay. We are like the northernmost suburb of Seattle up here in Juneau, as we say. Well, my name's Emily. I'm going to be doing the guided tasting today. We're going to start today with the Alaskan Amber. So this is our flagship beer here at the Brewery Company. I'm sure you've had it before in Seattle, yeah.
Or last night in our apartment, you know.
Oh, last night in our apartment. Well, I guarantee this will be the freshest Alaskan Amber you'll ever have. So first product that we came up with back in 1986 when we first opened our doors. To this day, it accounts for over 50% of all of our sales here at the Brewing Company. So still definitely our most popular by quite a bit. But it's also kind of a good segue to start talking about the history of the company. And if you guys want to take a seat, feel free to get comfortable too. You're a tour today, my gosh. It's just you guys. That doesn't happen.
Nice little private tour, yeah.
Right, exactly. So the history of the company really starts with these two back here, this lovely couple. This is Jeff and Marcy Larson. They are the founders of the Alaskan Brewing Company. Jeff and Marcy, they have a pretty cool story. So they're both from the lower 48, just like you guys. They came up here to Alaska where they fell in love with each other. They fell in love with beer, and they fell in love with Juneau. So Jeff, he actually came up to work as a chemical engineer in one of the mines here in town. And Marcy, she came up to work as an accountant for the state. So between the two of them, it's kind of the perfect power couple to start a brewery in hindsight thinking about it. You got all the right skills, obviously. Hey Blake, say hi. They're live streaming this.
Oh. I'm just grabbing some kegs.
So until one fateful day, Jeff actually was laid off from his job at mine. So, you know, when you're laid off, you have a lot of extra time on your hands. He started getting involved with homebrewing. Are you guys familiar with homebrewing?
I've done a little, actually.
Have you?
Yep.
Well, you were going to keep me honest today. So yeah, nice sort of small experimental batches of beer, and he got pretty good at it. And Jeff knew he wanted to stay in Alaska. one day, suggested to Jeff, hey, you're pretty good at this. Why don't you start a brewery here in Juneau? And he kind of liked that idea. He pitched it to Marcy, she was on board, and the two of them decided to go for it. But what do you guys think you need in order to start a brewery? Besides beer and hops.
Money.
Very good, money. Money makes the world go round. So they figured between the two of them that they would need about $1 million in order to start business operations, which is a lot of money now. It was definitely a lot of money back in the 80s. And so what they ended up doing was, these two 28-year-olds, they walked into a bank and they asked for $1 million loan in order to start a craft brewing company in Juneau, Alaska. What do you think the banker said?
Probably no.
Probably no. In fact, that's exactly what they said was no. Craft brewing wasn't even a term that a lot of people were very familiar with back in the 80s. The beer market in this country was primarily dominated by the big boys, the lager companies, Budweiser, Coors, and whatnot. So not many people were familiar with an amber, what an amber style beer would be. So they got a big fat no initially, but they were able to find one really gracious banker who said, if you guys can find $500,000 on your own time, then we will match the second half for you. So they got to work. Usually if 20-somethings need money, where do you think they go?
Parents.
Mom and dad. That's your I go usually. But
Well, friends,
and dad,
maybe, yeah.
Right. They didn't have $500,000 hanging around either.
Kickstarter wasn't really a thing back then.
Yeah, exactly. And so what they ended up deciding what they needed to do was start looking for investors. They figured that they needed about 100 investors to invest $5,000 each. So they definitely had their work cut out for them. What they ended up doing was spending the next 2 years knocking on doors throughout the streets of Juneau, basically pitching this idea to people, which was kind of a crazy idea back in that day. So it took them 2 very, very long years with a lot of legwork until they finally found 88 people who were willing to invest the money that they needed in order to start the brewery. So once they got their money, they got their $1 million, they purchased this brewery that we're standing in right now. So in 31 years, we have definitely grown a lot, but initially we only extended from the other side of these brew kettles to the other side of these fermentation tanks. So it's a pretty small place initially. This was actually the original packaging room that we're standing in right now. There's a picture on the wall right over here. So this is Jeff in the corner, Marcy's behind the camera, and then there's 12 volunteers who helped package the first 234 cases of beer here at the brewery, right in this room. I call them volunteers because they weren't paid in money. They were paid in beer, which I think is fair compensation. Might have been why it took them 12 hours to complete that packaging process. It's definitely a long day. Nowadays it takes 4 people about 1 hour to do the same amount of work. So a lot has changed in 31 years.
Probably better equipment too, but you know.
Yeah, definitely. And so the final sort of piece of the puzzle that Jeff and Marcy needed in order to start business operations was a good recipe, which is where the Alaskan amber comes into play. So Jeff and Marcy, they wanted to keep this company kind of, first of all, as Alaskan as possible, hence the name Alaskan Brewing Company, but also very traditional. And so they happened to know that there were some small breweries in the state of Alaska, even some here in Juneau, back before the days of Prohibition. And one of those companies was called the Douglas City Brewing Company. They found this record. There's actually an invoice right on the wall here for that company. They found records of this company in the city archives in downtown Juneau. And what happened, so back during the gold rush days here in Juneau, Douglas Island, have you guys been over to Douglas?
No.
Are you on a cruise ship?
No.
No. So Douglas Island is an island that's directly across from downtown Juneau. It's separated by mainland Juneau by the Gastineau Channel. And back during the gold rush days, it was home to the Treadwell Mine, which was one of the most successful gold mines in Alaskan history. Pardon me. Thousands of people came from all over the entire world to work in this mine, including a man from Czechoslovakia who came over here back in 1897. He was looking to strike it rich in gold. Of course, it didn't quite pan out that way for him. So he happened to be familiar with brewing beer. He brought with him Saaz hops and English ale yeast already. And he started brewing beer. He wanted to kind of capitalize on the idea that him and all of his coworkers were pretty thirsty after a long day, so he thought maybe he would strike the rich that way. But there's one big problem initially for him, which was there's a lot of differences between Czechoslovakia and Alaska, especially when it comes to temperatures. And temperature is a very, very important part of the brewing process. And he was used to brewing ales. Ales, whenever you ferment them, you let them sit and ferment, it needs to be done at room temperature, and that temperature cannot change over an extended period of time. Now, here in Juneau, it's the middle of July, and it's like 50-something degrees outside, right? So we don't get a lot of room temperature days here in Juneau. So he could think of only one place that he knew of where the temperature never changed. You guys have an idea where that might be?
In the mine?
Very good. It's the bottom of a mine shaft. It was a little bit cooler than it was used to, though. So it was around 50, 55 degrees. It was a lot colder, but he tried it out anyway. And what he produced was a slightly sweet, very sort of smooth drinking alt-style beer, which is the Alaskan Amber you guys just drank. Jeff and Marcy found that recipe for that beer, and they replicated it until they got it just the way that they wanted it, and it eventually became the Alaskan Amber. And being that you guys are from Seattle, so back in 1986 when we first started making Alaskan Amber, commercial fishermen would come up to work from Seattle in Alaska during the summertime. They would go back to Seattle in the winter, and they started demanding to these bars and restaurants there, hey, you guys need to get Alaskan Amber on tap down here. And so 2 years later, we started distributing to Seattle. That was the first place we started distributing out of Alaska.
Nice.
Yeah. But between 1920 and 1933, Prohibition occurred. There was no alcohol in the entire country, legal alcohol, I should say. Even though Alaska wasn't a state until 1959, we had to abide by all the rules because we were federal territory. So post-Prohibition, we were the first brewery to open up. So between 1933 and 1986, there were no breweries in the state of Alaska until we came around. We're actually the 67th craft brewery nationwide with our doors.
Oh, wow.
So to this day, you guys probably are very well aware that there's a lot of craft breweries. It's a huge scene now. There's over 6,000 of them.
But I feel like it didn't start really exploding until, it didn't really start becoming a thing until, honestly, mid-2000s, right?
Yeah,
like 2004, 2005 is when a lot of them opened their doors.
Exactly. I would say within the past, even just 7 years, it's really exploded. So that's where most of these new breweries have come. They're opening up every single day. As we speak, they're opening up. So it's pretty amazing. You guys like the Amber all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Have you had the Alaskan White before?
I have. I don't know if you have.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have.
Yeah.
You've been to Juneau enough, and there's not that many options on tap at pretty much
we
everywhere we go.
So are you guys just traveling independently then? Like, did you fly into town?
Okay, so long story, but I was cruise ship crew on the Volin Dam.
Gotcha.
He lives in Seattle, would fly up to Juneau to visit me.
How cool.
I ended up quitting my job, but he'd already booked this trip, so we just came together.
Awesome. Nice. All right. That is the Alaskan White for you. So this beer is a lot different than the last beer you drank. You can definitely tell just by looking at it. There's a lot of visual differences. One being the clarity of the beer. If you hold it up to the light, you'll notice that it's a little bit hazy color. Do you guys know what that is? Have any guesses?
I used to know.
So this is actually a Belgian wit style beer.
Right.
Wit meaning wheat. And so what you're seeing is actually wheat is packed full of protein. So it's protein in suspension. So you can look at it just as healthy. There's a pork chop in every beer is what I always like to say.
So this is my excuse for a liquid dinner.
Yeah, exactly, right? You don't need anything else. It's taken care of. Do you guys pick up on any familiar tastes or aromas?
Definitely some Belgian beers like the Hoegaarden.
It's got like the citrusy notes, and
So the Hoegaarden's actually the inspiration behind this beer. We'll get into that in a minute. But we actually put orange peels, 2 different types of orange peels into this beer. So bitter and sweet. You guys are able to smell those if you'd like to. We also put a spice in there called coriander. And coriander is the seed version of cilantro. So it's a little bit more complex flavors to it. This is actually a really great summer beer. Obviously, we get a lot of hot summer days here in Juneau, Alaska, right? Not exactly. But this is really nice, crisp, clean, refreshing. This is one of the beers that we distribute to all 19 of our states. We actually just added our 19th state a couple weeks ago, which is Iowa. The furthest east we are at the moment is Ohio. So being that all the beer comes from this production facility here, it complicates distribution a little bit. You guys are probably well aware that there's no roads out of Juneau. So
yeah.
Just gotta sit on the bars for a few days to
You know, I was actually, we were talking earlier on the stream and whatnot about the whole build a road to Skagway.
They've been talking about that for years. Who knows what's going to happen?
Because it's honestly not that far, right?
It's like 75 miles, I think.
Right, because, you know, so when I was on the ship, we'd have like 12-hour, you know, stops in Skagway. So it would have been really nice if you could have visited me in Skagway.
Right.
But with no roads, it's like, okay, well, you can either pay a lot for a seaplane or you can take an 8-hour ferry.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The options are slim right now. And, you know, I think like the town is divided on it. Like half the people want the road to Skagway, half the people want to keep everyone out of Juneau by you know, not building the road to Skagway. So,
But do really that many people come through Skagway? It's tiny.
It is. Yeah, they just
Like,
you know,
it's mostly just a tourist trap, right? Like, there's a tourist trap in a little bit of a town, mostly people who live there over the summer to work in the tourist trap. Like, that's literally all there is to it.
Pretty much.
And, like, a train.
Yeah, I'm sure people in Skagway would love to be able to drive down to
Yeah.
Juneau, but it's, you know, it's the thought of blasting through the coastal mountain range is like, I don't even know how they could get that done. Oh well, we'll see.
Not wanting to probably work for the seaplane company.
Right. So this beer, we actually get most of our sales from the state of Texas from this beer. You can kind of see why it is kind of, again, a nice summer beer on a hot summer day.
Yeah.
Really nice. But it wasn't always one of our top selling beers. In fact, it wasn't a beer that we distributed nationwide until pretty recently. It actually started off as a small idea, which, have you guys turned your head a little swivel, look right over here?
Somebody on my stream does want to know, is California one of the places you ship beer to? I would assume so. Yeah, it's so close, right?
We pretty much got the entire West Coast covered, except for a handful of states that have weird alcohol laws, like Utah, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, California, you can definitely find our beer there. So this system over here we refer to as our single barrel brewing system. Any beer that comes off of this smaller system here, there's only about 31.5 gallons that we can produce on it, is referred to as a crew brew. So we call it a crew brew because every single one of the employees here at the Alaskan Brewing Company has a pretty cool opportunity. And that is, if we can come up with a recipe, we can partner up with one of the brewers, and we can put it to the test on this small system here. So after the brew is made, we will ship it up to our rig room, and then we as staff get to act basically as a taste panel. So we'll score our beers on a scale of 1 to 10 once we're clocked out. Just want to make that clear. We're not drinking on it.
Even if you were, I wouldn't care.
If it averages 7 or better, then at that point we have the opportunity to introduce it to the public. So we've had some really cool beers come through here, including the whites. We've also had some really unsuccessful beers as well. As
So my favorite thing that I brewed back when I was brewing beer was a Belgian triple with pumpkin pie spices.
Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
So like your cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, all that. Just
Right.
giving you that as a
That's
freebie.
a great idea. Stay tuned, you know? But one beer. So we try to harbor creativity here at Brewery, but sometimes it doesn't always pan out the way we hope it does.
Right.
So we had one beer a couple months ago, which was the idea of one of our guys in our packaging department. He put Doritos, Oreos, Mountain Dew, and Gatorade into a single batch of beer.
Oh god, that sounds disgusting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So like sometimes
But then that
really
might
bad.
also be like a Jones Soda type thing. Do you know about them?
Yes,
Yeah, where they do
yeah.
like the disgusting like Thanksgiving stuff and people buy it
Baking
because
soda, stuff like that. Yeah.
right, because they're like, well, you know, but I want to try it. It's gross and it sounds gross, but I still want to know what it tastes like, right?
Novelty, right? Yeah. Well, okay, so that beer in particular did not. I don't think a single person finished an entire glass of it, so it didn't quite make the cut out of it. But if it had, it would have been scaled up eventually to our 10-barrel system here, which are these larger brew pedals here. At this stage, we call it Rough Draft Series beer, and so we have a lot of different Rough Draft Series beers that you guys are welcome to try later on. But basically what it means is that we can distribute it to a slightly larger audience. So we'll actually send kegs of this beer out to local restaurants or bars here in Juneau, because people in Juneau have always been really kind to us. They've never been afraid to give us their very honest, oftentimes brutal feedback on beers. So, you know, it's something we can really use and appreciate. So some of our rough draft beers we have right now, we have our Schwartz beer, which which is German for black beer. So it's dark in color, but it kind of has a light mouthfeel to it. I often say if you were blindfolded and you were drinking it, you would think it was a light beer in color. We also have, let's see, we have our grapefruit shandy, very, very light shandy.
I love shandies, so.
This one is different though, because like shandy to me always like automatically means lemonade, right? Part lemonade, part beer. And
Well, have you ever had like the traveler shandies? Because they have a lot of ones. They have like ginger, and they have like a cranberry, and they have a couple other ones that are really nice.
Well, like they all at least like a shandy technically is supposed to have lemonade.
Yeah.
And I don't think ours does for some reason. So it's I'm iffy on this point.
But I mean, usually they are low alcohol. I mean, 4% were lower, and they're just like, yeah, they're just nice and they're light and refreshing. Because I know, I think I can't pronounce that one brewery, Liffenkugel, whatever.
Lienenkugels, yeah.
Yes, I know, because they do a lot of them, and then Traveler does a lot of them, and I really like them.
I know you say, yeah. They're all great.
Yeah.
Ours is just a little bit different, I think. Another really good rough draft beer that we have on right now is our Spruce IPA. So here in Juneau, we don't have a whole lot of agriculture. We don't have a lot of sort of local ingredients that we can utilize a whole lot, but the Spruce IPA is an exception to that rule. So we use spruce tips, soft spruce trees, and freeze them for a while. It actually breaks down the cell wall, and you get a little bit more flavor. It kind of tastes like Christmas in a glass. It's really good. So it's moderately bitter, only 55 on the IBU scale, but it's got a sweet finish to it. So that's one of my favorite beers we have out right now. And then the final rough draft beer that we have that you guys can try, we're just new to the barrel aging game. I know it's been going on a long time down south, but as with most things, we are the last to experience it here in Alaska. That's just how things go. But we're barrel aging our Hopothermia right now. So we're barrel aging a double IPA. We're calling it our barrel aged Imperial IPA. And we barrel aged it in a bourbon barrel for about 6 months. It comes out, it's very juicy tasting.
Nice.
You can really taste the bourbon in it. So that's another good one. It kind of offsets the hoppiness and bitterness of the double IPA, which is cool. If that beer does well enough on the rough draft series, it can be scaled up to our 100 barrel series, which are these large tanks that extend all the way outside. Anything that's brewed on our 100 barrel system here will be distributed to all 19 of our states, but it can go out in different forms. So it can either be one of our pilot series beers. We have a bunch of those pilot series beers on the shelf on the right-hand corner up there, so they have the cool different labels.
Okay, yeah.
2-ounce bottles. Those are rotational beers, so we have a different one that comes out every quarter. We've had in the past some beers like Jalapeno IPA, Heritage Coffee Brown. Right now our pilot series beer is the Raspberry Wheat, which is arguably the best-selling beer here in Juneau. It's brewed with about 3,000 pounds of raspberries in it. It's pretty cool. And the flavor changes year to year based on the raspberry crop. So that's a great one. Another option for our 100 barrel beers is a seasonal product. So we always have our summer or winter ales, different spring and fall selections as well. And then the final sort of avenue is what happened with the Alaskan one, is it becomes one of our year-round products that we offer. You pretty much find anywhere in any of the stores that we distribute to. So it was a long process. It certainly didn't happen overnight, but what I think is really cool about it is that you don't have to have any sort of background in brewing whatsoever to come up with a really cool, successful recipe here in the brewery. I think it's awesome that Jeff and Marcy trust us to sort of experiment, and it's at no cost to you. So it's at cost to the brewery entirely. So it's pretty great. Any questions, guys?
How can I get a job? No, I'm joking. Look, it's like I like the experimentation and the coming up with cool ideas and what flavors would go together of home brewing, but I kind of hate the work of the home brewing. So.
Exactly. All right, are you guys both IPA drinkers?
Sure.
Kind of, sort of. The reason I ask is because a lot of people, they don't like their first IPA that they have. It is more of an acquired taste. So.
Yeah, I mean, but you guys do a good job with the Icy Bay. So I think I actually just had a glass, I don't know, at noon at the Red Dog, because
awesome.
of course.
You went to the Red Dog, of course. Very cool. So the Icy Bay, you guys have had it before then, it sounds like. You ever noticed our imagery for the Icy Bay is a surfboard? It's always surfing related, which is kind of interesting. Not a whole lot of people associate Alaska and surfing. Have you guys ever been to Icy Bay? It's a real place.
No.
Have you ever heard of it before? So it's just north of Yakutat, Alaska. If we're here in Juneau, Yakutat's kind of like halfway
Okay.
between us and Anchorage. And Icy Bay is known worldwide for its surfing. So people, believe it or not, will suit up and go surfing at low 40-degree weather, which...
Oh, yeah, people do that. Wherever there are waves, there's going to be some crazy surfers.
It's pretty, yeah.
Extreme.
Very
yeah.
extreme. We have a saying here at the brewery, which is "Live Life Alaskan." I feel like that's the epitome of that. To me, that means sort of living life on the edge. But one of the reasons we went with this imagery for the ICB IPA is because 1% of all the sales of this beer will actually go towards a nonprofit that we've set up called Coastal Code. The code stands for Clean Oceans Depend on Everyone. So Jeff and Marcy, when they first came up to Alaska, and I think for most people when they come up here, they fall in love with the beauty of Juneau, Alaska, Southwest Alaska. It's very pristine. And so it's become a mission of ours here at the brewery to do our part to make sure that we can keep Alaska that beautiful. And so what Coastal Code will actually do is go pick up trash from the ocean. So to this date, they actually just released the numbers a couple days ago. We've picked up over 1 million pounds of trash from the oceans. It's kind of feel-good feeling.
Wow,
I didn't need another reason to drink ICBA IPA, but now I have one. But water, it's an integral part of living here in Southeast Alaska, whether it's coming from the sky or you're floating on it on a boat. It's also the most important ingredient in brewing beer. We're pretty lucky here to have glacially fed water that we get to use in all of our beers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think you can really taste it in some of them, specifically this one here. But sustainability, kind of talking about cleaning up trash and keeping the earth beautiful, it's a hot button issue, obviously. And we don't have quite all the luxuries that breweries down south have, so we're sort of forced to be innovative when it comes to certain things. When you were home brewing, are you familiar with the term spent grain?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty familiar with the concept, the grain soaks in the water,
Yeah.
you have wort, and then you have a bunch of wet grain afterwards.
And I used to make dog treats.
Yeah, that's a really cool tool that a lot of people use it, making bread, treats, all sorts of stuff. But the bigger breweries will usually sell that stuff to farmers, right?
And
livestock,
yeah.
cattle, pigs, they love eating the spent grain. But we don't have any farms here in Juneau. So initially, when we're a pretty small operation, we would take that grain and spread it over our community garden here in town. So that worked really well for about 2 days until the bears found it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right.
You already know what happens. So the bears would eat it, it would ferment in their stomach, it would produce an effect that was very similar to alcohol. So we had drunk bears running around, for a few days.
That actually sounds really entertaining, but also a bit dangerous. But
They are angry drunks, yeah. So very angry drunks. And I still think we could have sold drunk bear tours, but instead we had to cut them off. And so we started shipping the grain down south on big shipping containers. But if you put wet grain on a shipping container on a barge for at least 3 days, what do you think happens?
Mold.
Yeah, mold. It's Mold City by the time it gets sent to Seattle. So what they started doing was actually Jeff built a big grain dryer. So you could just throw all the grain in. It's like a tumble dryer, just like your clothes dryer at home. And that worked really well. But then one day he was working on it, and the story goes that he accidentally lit the grain on fire. Yeah, right? Which for most people would be like a freak out moment, but for him, being a chemical engineer by trade, he was looking at it for a minute, and he was noticing the way that it was burning, and some of the properties behind it, and he said, I bet you there's some way or some place in this brewery where I can use this as a fuel source. And so he got to experimenting a little bit, and what he found was that if he got it really, really dry, kind of ground it down until it was nice and fine, and then threw it in our biomass boiler, so create steam to heat our 100-barrel system back here, we can actually raise the temperatures of the beer to the correct temperature by using our grain. So if you ever open up one of our bottles of beer and you've noticed on the bottom side it says beer-powered beer, that's where that comes from. So we're actually taking a natural byproduct of the brewing process. We're taking that grain and we're using it to create more beer now, which is really cool. So we've pretty much eliminated diesel fuel out of the equation at this point.
Nice. That's actually pretty amazing.
Who knew? Yeah, right? One other thing that's kind of cool, and we got Zach over here working on our fermentation tanks. Number 6 looks like it's already running. If if you look at that little window, the round window in the right-hand corner, it's got a bunch of yellow stuff in it.
Yeah.
And that's yeast in there. Looks like 4 is also working too. You can see the separation. There's actually yeast in this tube up until that very top part of that liquid. That's wort. So wort is that highly sugary substance that comes after it sits in the grain for a while.
Oh yeah.
And the yeast are pretty amazing. So you just scrape off a teeny tiny little bit of it. They replicate like crazy. And because of that, we've been able to use the exact same strain of yeast on every single one of our beers since 1986 when we opened our doors. But basically what's going on is the yeast are feeding on the sugars within that wort. They're creating alcohol, but they're also creating carbon dioxide. And so generally speaking, that carbon dioxide will just be released out to the atmosphere. And we all know that that's not a great thing at this point. But there's one other place in the brewery where we use a lot of carbon dioxide. We actually have to pay for it. So that's in the packaging department. When you put beer in a bottle, you gotta purge all the oxygen out of it. You do that by using carbon dioxide. So this was driving Jeff crazy. He's like, I'm creating all this carbon dioxide here, it's going to waste, and then I have to spend money on carbon dioxide for packaging. So after a few years of research, what he ended up figuring out was a way to funnel that carbon dioxide before it was released into the atmosphere. So we're the first craft brewery to install a system like this. We call it a carbon dioxide reclamation system, where in the most plain terms possible, it can actually capture the carbon dioxide before it's released into the atmosphere from our fermentation tanks, and it gets funneled over to our packaging department where we can use it there. For packaging, we end up saving about 1 million pounds of carbon dioxide every year from being released into the atmosphere. So if you guys are wondering about Jeff and Marcy now, this is them just a few months ago. They're on the cover of Alaska Beyond magazine. And they're still heavily involved in the company. In fact, they were here earlier. It's always kind of funny whenever I'm talking about Jeff and he walks by and I just kind of go cold for a second. They're the nicest people there are, though. They've kind of retired from daily business operations. There's a different CEO that's in charge of all that. But they're very committed to sort of spreading this idea of carbon reclamation. It's a really fantastic idea. So they're going to different beer conferences and meeting with different brewers and different breweries to kind of spread this message. So that's kind of what life is like for them now.
Nice.
You guys got any questions?
No, we're good.
Stream, you have any questions?
It wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get stage fright. It's going to freak me out.
It's not that bad. It's a cell phone. It's just ignore the cell phone that's kind of pointed in your direction.
All right, guys. Well, this is kind of the cool part where I get to give you your beer money. So you're each going to get 4 of these bottle caps here. Each one's good for a 4-ounce pour up the bar. So you can basically get 1 at a time, or you can get 4 at the same time. You can try any of the beers that we have on tap. So you can try the Rough Craft Series beers, which are only found in Juneau, or you can find our smoked porter. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the smoked porter.
It's really good. I've had a couple bottles. Like we actually just split a bottle the last time you were in Juneau.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we always just recommend leaving it for last because we do smoke our malt with alderwood, and it's very, very smoky.
Oh, but it's so good.
It's very good, but it will linger on your palate a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's funny because up here in Alaska, we use alderwood to smoke salmon with. So it's like, anytime I drink smoked porter, it's like I'm eating dinner. It tastes like bacon or salmon or something. But yeah, you guys are welcome to head on up to the bar and try whatever you like. And John will be back at the top of the hour, so that gives you about half an hour to enjoy your beers.
All right, awesome. All right, thank you so much. You're wonderful.
Thank you very much.
This wasn't my favorite brand until now. It is now. You guys got the bears drunk.
Drunk beer? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Need to do that. Suggest that. Got magnets. Okay, I'm going to try some of these weird beers they mentioned because I want to try some of these weird beers they mentioned. Okay.
I want to try the free ride thing. I don't know what that's about.
I feel like that's easier to find though, but you can get it. You can get it. I mean, I feel like it is kind of easy to find. It's it's up to you.
Is it? If it is,
Everything on this list is hard to find. Well, anything in green on that list is hard to find.
Let's just do this, the stuff that's hard to buy, and then.
Okay. I don't know what Gold Creek is. She mentioned the Spruce IPA, the Swartz, the Imperial, and the Grapefruit. I mean, we could also we could get different things and share, so that's fine.
Exactly. Oh,
So-
you've got 4 as well.
Yeah, I've got 4 and you've got 4.
Yeah, we've got 8 different things that we could get. Let's get all
So-
the green ones.
All right, and
And
then
then 3 more. What are we getting?
I mean, do you want to try the free ride? We could get the free ride. Then we could do the
just pick-
Hopothermia and the Oatmeal Stout,
Yeah.
because I feel like those are a little bit more limited, right?
Yes.
So. So here we are, waiting for beer with our beer tickets, which are bottle caps. Now was time. Possibly. Once we're done with these, we probably will be. That's if it's buzz time.
Huh?
Buzzed time. This
Oh.
is why we paid for the shuttle and everything, because, yeah. Also, I mean, it's the same thing as if we were driven up here, so, and we don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive. So, yep, we're gonna get beers.
All right. So all the green ones. Then.
So everything on that list.
Yeah.
So everything on the side list plus, what do you want? The free ride?
Is there any of those that you haven't tried? I feel like we've tried all of them.
I feel like I have tried all of them too.
Huh?
I feel like I've tried all of them too.
Yeah. Well, I would try the free ride and then maybe.
Okay. Do the free ride.
All right. Let's do that.
Don't drink and drive. It's a bad idea. No. People in the chat being like, or if you don't get caught, I'm like, no, just don't.
Unless you have no choice.
All right, so we want everything on this list plus a free ride. That's the green and the pink, this one, yes. We're getting flights made. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our brewery tour. Hope you liked all this. I'm gonna keep you live as we try all the beers and talk about them. Pretzels or nachos. Yeah, I don't think they have food here, but I also think that's the thing with breweries and distilleries, because like we went to a gin distillery that we might actually take you guys to later. And they're really cool, but they also had like really strict rules, and they're like, don't blame us, it's the state. We just literally can't have this stuff or have to close at 8 p.m. We have all these other rules because it's just imposed by the law here. I'll stream more doggos in a second. I do have a puppy video that I will be streaming on the drive back. So, because you don't need to like see a van drive for 20 minutes, right? Like that's unnecessary. So I'll stream puppies when we're done here. So in a half hour, there'll be puppies.
All right.
Is that going to the world right now?
Yes. What?
Is that live streaming to the
Yes.
world?
It's live streaming on Twitch to like 3 followers.
She always wants to do that. I'm like,
Let's find a spot.
don't even think about it.
If there's a spot. Well, actually, are they going to be using that room again anytime soon? Could just go back to this room.
Yeah, we could go back here.
If they're not going to be using it, probably for another half hour at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, they're not getting here for another, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Should I go? I'll go get the other.
Okay.
Beer.
Why is that? Oh, that. There we go. That's better. It's good beer. It really is. Alaska has good beer. Or Alaskan. Oh. You know what? Let me put the. It's the battery pack. It's causing weird issues. Give me a sec. All right. So, can you guys hear when Dimitri talks okay? Just let me know if you can't hear him, because sometimes he makes funny comments and I reply to him, and then if you can't hear me or him, that's a problem. So, all right, so I really wanted to try the Spruce IPA, because apparently it tastes like Christmas. You're rocking the camera.
I'll try not to flip the table over.
Yeah. Alaska is kind of the land of manly men for a certain amount. I don't know. Some of the guys, I don't know. Did you meet any of the locals at the Lucky Lady? Did you meet Two Tooth?
Oh yeah.
No idea what his name is.
Oh,
So there's this local bar, and I'm a terrible person, but there's this guy, and he has like 2 teeth. But he's really nice. He's a sweet dude. Because we used to hang out with like the locals. It's fun. It's pretty nice.
All right, let's see.
Actually, not as sprucey as I was expecting. It's very nice though. I like it. Okay. So this was the barrel aged.
Actually, really
Oh, this barrel aged is so good.
I mean, I like the Spruce IPA already quite a lot.
Oh yeah. No, it's nice.
It reminds me of something. Trying to.
Honestly, I was expecting it to be more pine tree, but it's not. It's just. It's got a little bit of pine tree flavor, but like not overpowering.
Right, but it shouldn't be any
Yeah.
stronger than this, I don't think.
No, like this is perfect. This is like
yeah, 'cause
absolutely
otherwise
perfect.
It wouldn't taste like beer anymore.
All right.
All right, let's do that. That's the barrel aged, right?
Yeah, so this is the grapefruit shandy.
Oh wow.
It's honestly on the heavy side for a shandy, but I like it. It's a good shandy. But yeah, no, that's
Okay,
fucking
but
amazing.
Where can we get this?
Yeah,
Is
so
it-
seriously,
is
can
it
we
one
buy
of
a
the
bottle
green
and bring it
ones,
home?
or-
I don't know. Maybe they'll see if they sell bottles of it. We're gonna check one bag coming home, right? That's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be a thing.
No, because this is good. But that's
Right. Well, I can't get the ulus I'm buying back home because I'm buying ulus. Totally buying more ulus.
booze and beer.
But yeah, the grapefruit shandy is really good. Okay, what's this? This is the Gold Creek. I actually don't remember her describing the Gold Creek or what made it.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it's more the French that mix weird fruit things with beer. It's terrible. Don't do that.
It's
don't,
offensive.
don't.
It's
No.
offensive to people.
Do not mix beer with Sprite or lemonade. Do not. No. I mean, I know that the French mix beer with like weird fruit juices, and it's no, don't do that.
Because
Never do
otherwise
that.
it causes other people to mix your favorite drink with Pepsi, and then like this whole war starts. And then
Yeah, so Germans mix wine with Pepsi. Apparently, apparently that is a thing that happens.
surely as an act of revenge against the French.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, what else have we got here? Where's the free ride APN? This is the one I'm curious about because
Yes.
it's got a snowboarder on the package, so I wonder how that's related. Unfortunately, it wasn't part of the tour, but
But it is the sweatshirt you bought, so you might as well.
Yes, yes.
The liquor is nice. It's got some nice flavors to it. It's really good. It's a little bit spiced. It's nice. All right, what is this? This is the hop something. Okay, so I think this is the same beer as this, but this one has not been barrel aged.
This one's actually pretty good because it takes all the stuff that IPA is good for, but takes away the bad stuff. What?
You're the one who told me about this wine and Pepsi thing.
Yeah.
He's saying it's bullshit.
No. Maybe the specific people who did it in front of me weren't representative of the whole population.
But you literally watched somebody do this.
Yes, I have. And they were German, so
When
I don't know.
were they German in France at the time, or because they were living in France, or were you living in Switzerland at the time?
They
or
were German in France.
Germans in France that
Yes.
were doing this and did it in front of you.
They were visiting. I don't know if it's some cruel joke they were playing, but they made it look like it's something that's not uncommon in Germany when people want to get wasted.
So there you have it.
But I don't know. Could be
Because you lived in France for what, 4 years?
4 years in France, 2 years in Switzerland. The German part of Switzerland. I haven't seen them do that, but they have their own kind of... I haven't seen them drink wine. What?
Yeah, he says, okay, these assholes need to get their ass beat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one and then the barrel age of the same one.
What was this one?
Barrel aged is much better. So it's the same beer, but this is not barrel aged and this is barrel aged.
I see. Okay, I need to do this.
I just realized that. Okay. Oatmeal stout. I love oatmeal stouts. All right, what does that say?
Okay, I never actually learned German. French was enough, so...
So if you're talking in German, he doesn't know it.
Yeah,
he
no,
speaks
sorry.
Russian, French, and English, right?
Yes.
So. It's a good oatmeal stout.
Honestly, I can't really tell the difference between these two, the free ride and this one.
Well, that's an APA and that's a double IPA.
See if you can describe the difference to me.
This one's fairly hoppy. Less hoppy and about 5% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm saying like this is probably like 4.5% alcohol. This is like probably a 9 or an 8.5.
8.5?
To a 9, yeah. That's a standard for a double IPA. Also, it's a lot less hoppy because something about making it a double IPA, I'm not really sure how that works, but I do know that like a double IPA tastes less hoppy than a single IPA. A triple IPA is way more alcoholic and tastes a lot less hoppy and more sweeter than a double IPA. So Dogfish Head is actually really good. What? God, these folks aren't during 3 Beer 5 brewing. Three five beer? Okay.
3.5? What?
So that says I'm confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. My drug travel.
I'll just drink beer and everything will fall into place.
Yeah, so
I'm sure.
So one thing you need to try at some point, right? Dogfish Head, which is my favorite craft brewer, which I saying that.
I have had it. It sounds familiar.
But no, they have their IPA. They have their double IPA, which is okay. They call it the 30-minute, the 60-minute, and the 90-minute, right?
Yeah.
So the 30 minutes they're single IPA, their 60 minutes they're double, and their 90 minutes they're triple. And like the 30-minute is like very hoppy and about 5 to 6% alcohol. The double is around 8 or 9. That's a 60-minute. And the triple is like 15%.
Ooh,
It's more of a barley wine. And it tastes like a barley wine.
interesting. I'd like to try that. Because I remember I've tried a beer that was that strong and it was disgusting. So
Are you only drinking Bud Light? Like, how? No. Most good beers are in the 4.5 and above category.
4.5 to 6. That's the
Yeah, that's typical for a good beer. Are you serious? They should not be above 3.5. Are you drinking O'Doul's? What are you drinking? Like,
I've never seen anything below 4.3 or so. I'd say so.
I mean, I guess Budweiser and like Coors are probably like 3, right? 3.5. But then they're also trash beers that no one should ever drink.
Yeah, those were the college days. I don't think I knew back then what the alcohol level was in any of those.
So I don't remember talking about this one, but it's good. Oh, this is the
yeah,
one that she said was.
Schwarzbier.
That's right. She said it was it's dark, but it tastes like a light beer.
Yes, let's see if that's true. I do.
It's nice.
wonder.
So one of my favorite beers is Golden Monkey. Have you ever had that? It's it tastes like it should be about 4.5%, but it's 9%. It's just like, you know, kind of a golden wheat type beer, but just ridiculously alcoholic.
No, this one still has something that's characteristic of a dark beer.
It has like that caramel flavor, right? But it's a
Yeah.
light caramel flavor. Like
Yeah.
it's got a light taste to it, but it also still does have that caramel dark beer flavor.
Yeah. But I would also like to try that beer that tastes like 4.5, but it's actually 9.
I haven't seen it on this coast.
Ah.
I've seen other ones by the same brewing company, but I've not seen, because Sour Monkey is another one that they make. And I've seen the big bottles of Sour Monkey, but I haven't seen Golden Monkey. I've actually looked for it when we were at the beer store.
Right.
But yeah, Golden Monkey is great. So, do you know have you ever been to CatsCon or MagFest? There's that Gaylord in DC. So they do pictures of Golden Monkey for $25 at the sports bar. That gets dangerous real fast.
Yeah, pictures of 9% beer,
That does not taste like a 9% beer.
Right.
That's the same price as pictures of like their freaking like Heineken. Like,
yeah, that does sound dangerous, but also fun.
but also at a convention that it's all about like, MagFest is MagFest.
Right, you keep telling me that.
So we need to like book a trip. Okay, so I was thinking about it, and if I had to choose between MagWest and Dragon Con, as much as I love Dragon Con, as much as I would like to go to Dragon Con, I think we should instead go to MagWest if we have to make the choice.
Okay.
So I need to look into MagWest
I'll trust you on this.
because it's only in Northern California, as
Right.
opposed to flying all the way to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier.
It's going to be cheaper. It's going to be easier. I feel like I don't necessarily have the time to prep the costumes that I would want to take to Dragon Con, right? Because it is kind of late notice. Most people have booked rooms. I honestly, I could have gotten a room for us. I could have gotten different things for us to go to Dragon, but I also feel like Dragon's a really long weekend. I want to do Dragon with you, but maybe we should plan more and do it maybe next year.
Sure. Yeah.
So have you not heard of MagFest, like this big convention in DC? So they're doing a West Coast edition in Northern California later in the summer towards the fall. So I need to double check on the dates and then book travel, I guess, and do it.
Probably
But
drive down there.
so
maybe.
we'll see. We'll see how long of a drive it is. But basically, it's yeah. I mean, I don't remember, and I can't check it because if I do anything else on my cell phone, the stream dies. So it's kind of a thing. But yeah.
You can use mine.
But yeah, you're in California, right? So go to MagWest.
But also beer snacks.
He has salmon jerky just in his jacket. I forgot about this.
That should go perfectly with.
It will. It actually go really good with the beer. So yeah, MagFest is like going to a music festival, but it's all nerds and it's all video game music, and there's a lot of arcade games. Yep. Now, honestly, I think that's just like the weekend before Dragon Con, so. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Do you think you can get like sent there for work?
I can get sent to San Jose.
Yeah, it's basically San Jose.
Oh. Well, what time of the year, or like what date?
August 25th to 27th.
I could try. I'm not sure, but I need to make up a bullshit reason why I need to.
Oh, Gen Con. Yeah, that makes sense. But is it Gen Con's Indiana, right? Chicago area?
Alright. So now I gotta give you guys the booth. We got 2 more people coming in for the tour. So
Oh.
Alright, you guys. Alright, you folks. Take a look at some of these menus here, which will give you an idea about some of the beers offering.
The king is out.
Yeah, you're gonna start back here, have some beers, and once you get down here, learn about the brewery, you can go to the next room and have more beers out there. So it's kind of and I'll see you by the time they close, which will be about 7 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. So, that work for you guys? Yeah. Yeah, take a look over those. There's even more beers than are actually presented to you offered out here, so you see on the menu. The next room, yeah, they tell you all about it. So, yeah. Enjoy though. You guys have a restroom behind you in the next room if you need. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Maybe next year?
Yeah.
Food is very limited, but I sort of found a spot.
Okay. We're moving. I like the Gold Creek. Did you try this?
Let me see. I think I have.
I mean, Dragon Con. I'm usually super busy at Dragon Con. Was I in all the blue makeup for Undine? Because that's also a crazy thing, right? Like when you're in like costume that elaborate, it's kind of hard to like, I don't know, interact with humans. Hold on, I'm trying to like get this thing taller. I have this weird, crazy octopus tripod that I'm trying to make taller so that you guys can see me better. There we go, better. So is the Noondine, right? With the blue makeup, the fins, the giant skirt. It's a little. And then you're friends with Ashley, who also like does the crazy, massive costumes too. So some of her recent work has been really good. Dear Lord, that Neo Queen Serenity, whatever costume Sailor Moon shit she did, that was really good. I was kind of shocked. I mean, that's fair. Given who Undine is, that's fair. As I'm eating salmon jerky and drinking beer. I hope you got food because you were complaining about me making you hungry earlier. Why are you kids? You can't do Mag West? Oh.
10 minutes is fine. Okay. So we've got 10 minutes.
Damn it! Okay, apparently we have to chug this stuff now because we have 10 minutes before our ride back leaves. Good, so we're not making you hungry anymore. That's good. it.
But she was like, well, if this
I can't chug beer and eat this. Chug the beer.
Yeah, we still need to see if we can get a bottle of that
Oh yeah.
aged Imperial IPA. Was that it?
Do you want to ask him about that?
Sure, let me do that.
back, so I can get for right? So it's 250. But she was.
It's not in a can. You can't shotgun something that's not in a can. It has to be in a can so you can pop like a hole in the bottom and then shotgun it. I mean, I've shotgunned a few beers in my lifetime. Big surprise.
And our for something that I felt was
Did you notice that? There's a slight burp that came up because I was drinking beer quickly. Did you notice that?
when I was in law before, so I was in state for like 6 years.
All right.
But I was in law.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish the Gold Creek because I like the Gold Creek.
And I had this
Dimitri, take Dimitri. Drink one of these while you're waiting. We apparently will have like 5 minutes till our ride leaves, so we have to finish all this quickly.
It's all good. What you got on the phone there?
So I'm streaming to Twitch.
What?
So I do a travel stream. So I do live streaming of everything I do, traveling wise and adventure wise. So I've been live streaming the brewery tour and whatnot. I was showing videos of the dog mushing I went to earlier. Tomorrow we're going to hike the glacier. So if there's a signal, what I do is tape it and then upload it later to stream. And then Sunday we're doing whale watching. So
You're live streaming now?
yes. This is going to be preserved forever on the internet.
Oh yeah.
But it's on me right now. It's not on you guys. Although now it's on you guys. On the internet, preserved forever. Random people I met at the Alaskan Brewing Co.
Heard that about me. Yeah, so it's like, you know, the idea that so insincere. You know, because then I tell her, it's like if your spouse comes to you and says,
There was a fly. Still there. My damn camera. On my cell phone.
find someone, are we still cool?
No.
You're like, well, maybe I'm going to go ahead and start looking around myself.
Good enough.
I mean, you've heard the song from Avenue Q, right? Which I was like, she hadn't heard of Avenue Q until I mentioned it, so I was like, oh, okay. But like, seriously, there's an entire song about how the internet's for porn.
Get over it. It'll click.
My world went from statewide dealing with everyone. You know, this is exactly what
But it was great. You can do things like send emails for porn. For porn.
Yeah. Oh, now you just have the city. Yeah, I'll have I'm going to do it here.
I mean, there's other things, but mostly it's porn. It's like, it's great when you look at the statistics of like number of websites and whatnot, right? It's still like, you just bought a growler of it. Did you buy a growler of it?
Yes.
bought a growler.
They don't have them pre-bottled or anything like. So we get this. They say
8.8. See, I wasn't wrong. I was like, it's between 8.5 and 9.
Yeah, good call.
I know my shit.
But they said this should last us 3 to 5 days. So I
Yeah.
guess for this weekend, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah. So, do you want to finish off that one?
Sure.
So you just bought me a giant. You bought me a giant cow. I know how I say that, right? Sorry. And you can finish the free ride. But also, have you not listened to Hamilton? Because holy shit, Hamilton. My entire life now is Hamilton. My dad even bought me a sweatshirt that says, all my thoughts have been replaced with lyrics from Hamilton. Because I listened to Hamilton that much.
Yeah, me either.
He knows nothing about it, but knew that I just listened to it constantly, on repeat, all the time. But also Book of Mormon was great. I've seen Book of Mormon like 3 times, but
I've never had that.
literally seen Book of Mormon in New York 3 times live. And I've been EQ once. I've actually yet to see I've actually yet to see Hamilton live. Just listened to the soundtrack like a bazillion times. So here's the thing about the reasons I love Hamilton.
Skagway Brewing has
Is I'm related to okay, I can see that. I mean, it's historical fiction. To a certain extent, it is historical fiction. Here's the thing. I'm related to Aaron Burr. So, I've never seen like a sympathetic view of Burr before. Like, I mean, I get that like, you know, what he is not great and whatnot, but like, I feel like Hamilton actually has a very even-handed, like, it doesn't just portray him as a villain. It shows his motivation, it shows why he did what he did, right? It's not so much painting Burr as like this unredeemable villain. It's, you know, he's a multi-layered character, right? It's just so I actually really like the treatment of Burr and Hamilton as a descendant of Aaron Burr. So, but anyways, so apparently we have. Go get a smoked porter, real quick. We'll check it.
So,
Somebody just gave me a free tasting, so we're gonna get a smoked porter because it's my favorite. So, what do you not like about the depictions in Hamilton of Alexander Hamilton and his duel with Burr? What are your problems with it? Let's talk about this.
What's that called? The mud wagon?
yeah, or the I wouldn't mutter, gunny mutter, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Damn, that's good.
so in that same vein, there's a race that's just starting this year called the Alaskan, and it's a triathlon, but everything is just a little bit longer than a normal full-time.
Oh god, that would go so good with salmon. I'm still in part of your smoked salmon. So the smoked porter is like one of the best things that they make here. I've just had it a lot, so that's why we didn't get it. But it's most of the same things as salmon is. So yeah, no, seriously goes really well with smoked salmon. Well, yeah, that's why what they did was illegal, right? That's why they went to Jersey to do it, because everything's legal in Jersey.
We're gonna head back to town. Sorry to interrupt the live stream. The bad guy, man.
But
They should have done it at noon, not dawn. Is that your problem, really? Well, the thing is, like, duels were illegal. They weren't supposed to be dueling, but that was just the culture then, right? So,
Back into the band.
We're debating Alexander Hamilton right now, so.
Oh. Isn't that like the rap theatrical performance?
Yes, and I love the musical, but also like debating history at the moment because he's like, but they shouldn't have been allowed to like. No, it was illegal. That's the whole reason they went to Jersey to do it. It's because it was illegal. They weren't supposed to be doing it, but everything's legal in New Jersey. Here, hold this. You'd rather they wait till high noon to have pencils drawn? Is this really what you're saying? Like, because they didn't wait till high noon?
Duels were always legal.
Huh?
Duels were always legal.
No, they were not legal in New York at that time. That's why they went to New Jersey.
It was actually legal in New Jersey. I don't think it was legal like anywhere else in the world except New Jersey.
That might have been a thing because they all went to New Jersey to fucking have their duels. Probably. I mean, they did you know. Whew. Okay, do you want to talk to me about Hamilton or watch puppy videos? Should I put on puppy videos? No, I don't want to have the same video we played earlier. I want a new video. Okay. Okay, Pterodactyl, why are you not letting me do this? Okay, I'm gonna kill the stream for a sec. Hold on.